Hello, welcome to Amer and the bike. This is my first ride since COVID. I just had a look at my Strava and this is the first time I've ridden outside in 2 days short of 3 weeks. I did do 30 minutes on Zwift at the end of last week. I think I averaged about 120 watts and it felt like hard work. And my legs were really achy for 2 days after. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just doing my usual loop. Pretty flipping lovely day again, back in Devon. Hello Devon. It's over 3 weeks since I rode this bike. It's now not working. It's making a really interesting squeaking noise that I will provide for you in just a second. Just gonna have to take my brakes apart and see if I can get it working. Otherwise it's gonna be even harder work, isn't it? So let's get that sorted and then we'll do a little ride in the sun. I've taken my wheel out. Now, even this is broken. Just proof that I can still break absolutely anything just by looking at it. So I've taken the wheel out and I've put it back in. I've checked the brake pads. They look fine and I can't see any rubbing, but before it was going around a little bit and now you can hear it. It's like totally jammed. I'm gonna have to take it back out again, aren't I? I've only ridden for like 5 minutes. This is as far as I've got. Could it be... Do you have bearings? Do you have bearings in the front wheel? The bearings on the back wheel, as I said in a previous video, have sounded like they're made of some kind of chunky stone with no glide value at all. But it's not the brake pads, is it? The wheel will turn when the through axle isn't done up. But if it's done up, it won't go round. So I think it must be something in the hub. So I'm going to take the back wheel out to compare, to see if it works. And then, because, you know, these things are just really fun. There's a really fun noise coming out the back as well. So this is the sound of my drivetrain. It's just all going really well. I guess I'm just super lucky. And those are my wheel bearings. I mean, it just sounds so nice, doesn't it? Okay, we might be going to switch bikes because I'm not sure how fixable this is going to be. Oh, I can't take me anywhere, guys. There's nothing like a nice relaxing bike ride. And so far, this is nothing like a nice relaxing bike ride. Oh, catch you in a second. Okay, so I haven't quite done the through axle up 100% because as soon as I turn, you can feel it. You spin the wheel and then tighten the bolt right up on the front through axle. It completely stops the wheel, and then as soon as you slacken it off, it'll go round again, but you can hear something. So I think from the creak, it's almost certainly a bearings thing, or maybe the bits that hold it in. We all know that I do not speak spanner nor Allen key, so I'm conceding defeat and riding home, and I've got to decide if I want to take my road bike or still got my cross bike, so we could take that out. Oh, that noise is horrible. I'm a bit wary that it's not done up properly. I'm gonna ride back really slow. Eek. Right then, ride 2 or ride 1.2. We're on the cross bike. It feels really tiny compared to the other one. It still doesn't sound quite right, but it's not screaming like the other one was, and both the wheels go round because I checked. And I'm not gonna let another broken thing on my brand new bike make me sad. I'm gonna have a lovely time. Let's go. Tell you what though, this is the first little incline that I've attempted. Oh, lungs aren't all that, but I have solar powered legs, so I reckon we can see it through. Here is the cross bike. Here is me. Hiya. It's evening time, so the light is quite low. But that is Talkie. Hi Talkie. Hi. It's pretty busy on the roads, so I'm happy to have found a lovely little lane. Today is World Mental Health Day, apparently, 10th of October. So just really wanted to say thanks to everyone who said really kind things. After my last video when I was talking about, you know, having a tough time and having cancer and everything, I was pretty reluctant to talk about it because I know I'm not the only one that feels like this, but even though something does redefine your life, you don't necessarily want it to define you. It's been a tough 3 months, but I think I am getting better now. And I honestly think, although COVID wasn't the most positive experience, as with every bad experience, good things come of it. So when the universe forces you to completely stop, and I mean, I couldn't really do much for 2 weeks, you just get the opportunity to have a think and look at your priorities. So for me, I realised that I hadn't been prioritising my health. And although I'd been going to the gym and riding my bike, there's more to health than that, isn't there? You know, like, there's lots of things in your life that need to align. So this is quite bumpy, I might have to stop and talk. You may have noticed actually that earlier when I was on my other bike, I had my GoPro chesty on. So if it's the thought that counts, I did think about trying to use my GoPro for the first time today. And then with the bike going wrong, I just thought, no, I can't be bothered. I'll get there, guys, I'll get there. It's quite windy, I don't know if you can hear me. Just, there seems to be endless, this wind thing at the moment, but the view is nice. It's trying to hide in the trees, but I think even the trees are quite loud. Maybe this isn't the place. Let's carry on. Found a nice spot, I think you'll agree. This is Berry Head. I know we've been here before. I'm out of the wind. It's actually really warm. When I was sliding down the gravel trail, I was talking about having COVID, and although that was an unpleasant experience, it is quite funny, isn't it, how when something bad happens to you, good things can come of it. So I had the opportunity to stop, reevaluate, I suppose. And what I kind of realised, yes, I hadn't been investing in my health, just run myself down. You only get what you put in, don't you? So like with cycling, if you want to get faster, fitter, stronger, you apply yourself to that and you train harder and you just shift your focus to that. And anyone who's trained for something really specific or trained really hard will know that often to commit to that means that other things have to take a back seat to that. So maybe your social life will be not quite as, active. Perhaps you're not going to be able to work as much, particularly if you're self-employed. You end up, that goes by the wayside. You don't end up, I know a lot of people whose partners aren't very happy when their partner is training really hard for something and they never see them. So life is a balance, isn't it? And when you've had something like cancer, I think I certainly found that having that gave me a bit more of a sense of purpose and drive to be proactive in my life. And then the last 3 months made me lose that. And I don't have any answers. I think I'm just really grateful. I guess the point of this is to say thank you for all the supportive things that people have done and said. I've been called inspirational by a few people, and I don't feel like I'm particularly inspirational, to be honest. I'm just another person who's doing the best they can, but it's a nice thing to say. And if me talking about these things inspires someone else to look after themselves better, to go and apply themselves to something, to get on a bike, to rethink about anything, or just to reach out to somebody and have a conversation about something that they hadn't thought about before, then I'm here for that. I guess that's the point of this, really. Breaking bikes, having conversations. I've been really lucky. I think if there's one thing the last year has taught me, is that quite often you've got a lot more support than you think you have. I certainly found that. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the last year, and I think in the next year I definitely want to go on some more adventures. I want to do more things with more people. I'm not particularly into racing these days, certainly not short circuit races, road racing. There's too many young, hungry, really talented riders doing that now, and so I love a gravel race, and the reason for that is there's lots of really cool people that do it, and quite often you get to socialise a little bit on the way around, and you meet people and you learn their stories and push yourself and get to see new things. So definitely a bit more of that. But I've been watching other people's videos, like going out and doing actual adventures. I definitely want to see a bit more of the world and experience more that way. Let's do that. Let's make plans. So tell me in the comments below something interesting about what you've learned in the last year, because I want this to be a two-way thing. I want to be as inspired by you as I apparently am to other people. So let's start a conversation about this. I'm feeling good. Right, well, I'm going to have a nice mosey back. I'm still not quite sure what my motivation is for starting a YouTube channel. It's a bit directionless at the moment. I'll just make it up as I go along, winging it. People seem to be watching it. I really appreciate that. Thanks again for coming along for the ride. Good to have you on board. I'll catch you down the road very soon.